Everyone, what's going on? So a little bit ago I was writing up a blog post and my best friend had sent me a Snapchat about the Bears-Packers game. And on that Snapchat, I guess, I didn't watch this game, but I guess the Packers made this miraculous comeback and won the game. And on that Snapchat, he wrote how the game was scripted and hopefully that Bear Trap, which is me, will make a video on it. And I know it's halfway joking because him and pretty much everybody I know, they don't fully understand what I am talking about in these videos. I think they do know that the games are rigged anymore. It's just really obvious. Go back and watch this play, and I'll play it again later, but guys aren't even trying to tackle him. Remember at Super Bowl 50, Cam Newton should have jumped on the fumble. He didn't even try to jump on the fumble in the Super Bowl of all games. So you don't need numbers to see that these games are rigged, but if you learn what I'm showing on this channel, it just makes it that much more obvious that they're using these certain themes, and they're also scripting everything by this system that, once again, stems back to Kabbalah, which has a belief that God created the world by merging the letter with the number, and gematria is that's what is used within Kabbalah, the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases. And the people who control our sports leagues, they understand this system, and they also control our mainstream media, and they sync these two things together. And the big theme that I've been talking about all this year, and I haven't been making that many videos. This Snapchat inspired me to make this video, but I've been talking about how everything is connected to this year is all about the War of 1812. And in the War of 1812, that's when Francis Scott Key wrote the national anthem. And think about that in regards to Colin Kaepernick and all the controversy about kneeling during the national anthem. It was important last year too. That's why the Eagles were in the Super Bowl, because it was Super Bowl 52, and the 52nd prime number is 239, and the flag is supposedly sewn at 239 Arch Street in Philadelphia. And Donald Trump called out the people for kneeling on the date of 23/9 last year. And the year before, it was important. That's why the Falcons were in the Super Bowl, because in gematria, Atlanta Falcons equal 239, and it was all about Charles Manson and his Helter Skelter theory about the blacks rising up. In the song Blackbird, think about the Falcons, that was the song that he was saying was telling the blacks to rise up. And then last year, I kept mentioning how that was still a theme going on, and then Charles Manson died in November, and it was all synced up to the Super Bowl. Also, Colin Kaepernick, in 2016, it was a leap year, and the first game that they made a big deal about it was against the Green Bay Packers on the 239th day of the year, August 26th, which is also the same day as the Bridgewater shooting that happened in 2015, if you remember. That's super important to Teddy Bridgewater. And then Teddy Bridgewater just got traded to the New Orleans Saints, which is important because the War of 1812 came to an end after the Battle of New Orleans in 1814, right? Or maybe it was early 1815, but the Battle of New Orleans is the reason that came to an end, and we just got that Madden video game tournament that was in Jacksonville, and the shooter was supposedly from Baltimore. That's where Francis Scott Key wrote the national anthem during the War of 1812. Jacksonville is named after Andrew Jackson, who's famous for winning the Battle of New Orleans in the War of 1812. And that shooter's name was David Katz. Think about the jaguar and how a jaguar is a cat. 43 days before that shooting that happened on the anniversary of Colin Kaepernick kneeling even, 43 days before that, we got a story in the news about a jaguar escaping the zoo in New Orleans, right? And Jacksonville equals 43. John Madden equals 43. Football equals 43. So the big central theme is all about the War of 1812. And then what happened? The opening of the season, the Eagles played the Falcons this year, and the Eagles won 18-12 even. So I just wanted to bring that all up because when I looked up this game here, the big deal was that Aaron Rodgers threw a pass to Randall Cobb for 75 yards that essentially won the game. And when I went and looked up Aaron Rodgers, I noticed he was number 12, and when I looked up Randall Cobb, I noticed he was number 18. Once again, 18-12. And to make it even more fitting, look at Aaron Rodgers' birthday. Aaron Rodgers' birthday, December 2nd. If you go from today, 9/9, to Aaron Rodgers' birthday, it just so happens to be a span of 84 days, or also 2 months and 23 days. Now look what the gematria of, well, there's Randall Cobb's full name equals 84. Just type it out here. Randall Cobb. Notice his name equals 84 and also 223. You know what else equals 223? War of 1812. 223. You know what else equals 223? The Star-Spangled Banner. Let's type it out for you. The Star-Spangled Banner. 223. Written during the War of 1812, that equals 223. Kaepernick, 223. And this happens 2 months and 23 days before Aaron Rodgers' birthday. Also 84 days. And Randall Cobb equals 84. Also, Green Bay Packers equals 84. Green Bay Packers, 84. How fitting, right? You know, that's why Roseanne even got canceled on the 200. They brought that show back for the 223rd episode, and then it got canceled after the 231st episode. Remember, the Star-Spangled Banner, War of 1812, Kaepernick, all equal 223. They bring it back for the 223rd episode. Look at National Anthem. 231. It got canceled after the 231st episode. The Connors are going to be on 147 days after that episode got canceled. National Anthem. If you remember Roseanne, she's also known for singing the terrible national anthem at the Cincinnati Reds game in like 1990, I think it was. And then the Cincinnati Reds went on to win the World Series, but, you know, don't want to lose you. But we just recently got the story about Nike and Colin Kaepernick on 9/3, September 3rd. 9/3, a lot like 93. Look at Colin Kaepernick's full name. Colin Rand Kaepernick. This is how our media always works. 93, that story came on 9/3. That's why we got a story that same day of Roseanne Barr supposedly going to be moving to Israel when the Connors come out. That's why we got MGK calling out Eminem, because Marshall Mathers equals 93. You know, it's so obvious. But anyway, let's go back, and now that I've established the War of 1812. So another thing I did was I went from Randall Cobb's birthday to the day that this happened. Randall Cobb's birthday. If you go from Randall Cobb's birthday of August 22nd to the day that he scores this game-winning touchdown, it's 18 days. And remember, he wears number 18. What are the odds, right? 18 days after his birthday, number 18 scores the winning touchdown. And think about 9/9 as a date in the year 18. You know, this opens up the 18, the year of the 18 for the Packers and the Bears. 18, 9, 9, 9 plus 9 is even 18. And the only reason I even know that Bears and gematria equals, it's weird, but Bears equal 18. And I've been talking about how it's strange, but because there is synchronicity, all of this stems back to how we truly live in some type of world code, and there are people who understand this knowledge, and they are using it to manipulate the sports leagues and manipulate our minds through the media, and somehow within this system it can create other things and make things happen. It's all to do with ancient knowledge. It's a lot to explain. But when my uncle died, I said how the Bears are a team to watch this year because that was his favorite team, was the Chicago Bears and also the Nebraska Cornhuskers, because he absolutely hates the Cornhuskers and so on. But I'm not going to go on a big tangent with that. But just notice, Bears equals 18 and then they lose to number 18, 18 days after his birthday in the year 18, on a date 9 plus 9 that even equals 18. Anyway, one last thing I want to point out is, if you look at Randall Cobb again in Gematria, notice how his name also equals 213. His name equals 213 in Gematria. And if you go back and watch this clip of the game, let me find it here. I'm going to pull up this clip here. Maybe it doesn't show it on here, but when he scores the touchdown, there's 2 minutes and 13 seconds left in the game. 2 minutes, 13 seconds, 213, and Randall Cobb and Gematria equals 213. What are the odds of that? And in regards to 18, look at this play. I mean, maybe it's a little bit off, but they almost had to be going for this on this play. Aaron Rodgers, he throws it with his back foot on the 18-yard line, and then Cobb catches it on the 36, which is even 18 yards, and, possibly a stretch on there, but maybe that's what they were going for, and they just didn't perfect it or something. But just watch this. I'm going to start it over here. He throws with his back foot on the 18, and he throws it 18 yards, and then he runs it in for a touchdown. And then nobody tries to tackle him, 18 to the 36, or 19, possibly you'd say. It's still pretty interesting how close it is. And he's number 18, 18 days after his birthday. Bears equal 18 on the date of 9/9. 9 plus 9 is 18 in the year 18. Oh, I can't get him, no. What a joke, So, there's probably a whole lot more that went into this game. I didn't even, like I said, I didn't watch 1 second of this game, but there's nothing different. You remember a couple of years ago after Prince died, and then the Packers played Minnesota, and at that game they did a big tribute to Prince, and the game started off with the first touchdown being a pass from Aaron Rodgers to Jordy Nelson. And if you look up Prince's name is Prince Rogers Nelson. This type of stuff happens all of the time. I'll just pull it up for you and show you. Prince musician. Prince Rogers Nelson. And the first touchdown pass in that game that was a tribute to him was a pass from Rogers to Nelson. Also, for a little Prince knowledge, if you don't think that this exists, this coding of letters and numbers, Prince has a song, I Would Die For, and then the letter U. U is the 21st letter. 4/21. Look when he died. April 21st, 4/21. I would die for you. You can look up the song by Slipknot called Gematria, the Killing Name. Why do they have a song called that? Gematria, the Killing Name. And then their bassist died at the age of 38, and his Paul Gray equals 38. And he was also called the Pig, that equals 38. Gematria equals 38. Kabbalah equals 38. Tons and tons of things. And he died all in connection to Gematria, the Killing Name. Why do they have a song called that? Why do the police have a song called Murder by Numbers? Murder by Numbers, 1, 2, 3. It's as easy as your ABCs. Because people are using this system. People are murdering people by this code. Think about when people die. Sometimes people say, I guess his number was up. Why do they say that? Why is there a number of the beast in the Bible? Why is there a chapter called Numbers? Why is there so many specific numbers in the Bible? Jesus catching 153 fish. Why not just 150 fish? Or, the walls of Jericho that came down. They make sure to tell you that there was 7 priests blowing 7 ram's horns. And then on the 7th day, they walked around it 7 times. Why do they have to be so specific with numbers? It's because it is important. And, just trying to prove my point that this exists. And I'm making this video for, one of my friends. Hopefully they'll find it on YouTube, or hopefully I'll post it to Twitter. That's another thing. And since doing this, Twitter doesn't even work. But I'm running out of time. I only got 15 minutes. My Twitter doesn't even show my videos anymore. They just Other people must be able to see them, but I can't see that I posted anything on Twitter anymore. So have a good one. Peace.